Hi, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Jill Duffy here with Sascha Segan today. We're going to talk about some of the top news in tech, show you one cool thing that's come into our lab recently, and we're going to answer a reader question. So one of the big pieces of news is Oculus Rift. The second software development kit is now available to pre-order, and it's going to be shipping in July for $350. Sascha, what else do we know about this kit?
Well, the Oculus Rift is the VR headset that everybody involved in gaming is just crazy about. And the kit that was just announced was first shown off at CES and called Crystal Cove at the time. That's the same product. The new kit has a 1080p OLED display in front of your eyes. It's brighter, it's higher resolution, it has much better, smoother eye tracking than the Oculus Rift 1 kit, which we have here at PCMag. So you have an even more realistic VR experience.
Now this is just the software development kit though. This isn't something that consumers are going to be running out and buying off the shelves, right?
Well, you can buy, anyone can buy it if they want to, and there are a whole lot of demos out there, and hackers have managed to hack Oculus Rift support into various games. But you're right that it isn't, like, this isn't the kind of product you'd buy at Best Buy. And that's the big question about Oculus Rift, that they have this very, very long startup process towards getting a commercial product. And we're all sitting here and saying, when is the commercial product coming exactly? Because it's cool, but you do have to commercialize it at some point.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's going to go on, you know, playing with it, letting developers sort of build their own products for it. You know, when is it going to be something that's in living rooms?
That's the big question. A lot of people have been saying 2015, so that's still a whole year away.
Another hyped up product that we just got a peek of is the Moto 360. Sascha, this was reviewed or showed off, I guess, in a Google Hangout recently?
Yeah, because Motorola is still, at least for the next 20 minutes, part of Google, so they wanted to use Google technology to show off their Google Smartwatch. This is one of the first round of Android Wear smartwatches. This is the official Google Smartwatch operating system. And what makes the Moto 360 so interesting is that it has a round face, and we haven't seen that on a lot of smartwatches before.
Getting away from the whole, you know, mimicking your phone a little bit too much and maybe getting a little bit closer to the classic watch design.
Exactly. And what is really getting people charged up about the Moto 360 is we've seen all these pictures of them, and they're probably dummy units, but it genuinely looks stylish. It looks like a watch people would want to wear. And then, of course, with Android Wear, it's very voice-oriented, it's very Google Now-oriented. It has a little touch screen, but apparently you're primarily supposed to talk into your watch. What I'm concerned about with the Google Hangout is that they didn't really show any close-ups. So Motorola and Google have been doing a really good job of saying this is real, this is a thing that's happening, people are wearing them right now, but they still seem to be unwilling to really let us engage with the actual physical product that's out there.
So they're giving us some sneak peeks, but not really putting it in our hands yet.
Exactly, and they'll put it in our hands probably in about 3 months. But this is going to be the smartwatch to beat when we see it. It'll work with most phones with Android 4.3 or higher, and it probably won't be the only round Android Wear smartwatch, because the round face is now an Android Wear standard.
You know, I wanted to ask you, Sascha, I know you've tested a bunch of these smartwatches. Do you own any personally?
No, the closest I got was wearing the Pebble for quite a while, but then it started getting passed around the office. I like the smartwatches. I haven't found any of them really compelling so far, and battery life has been a big thing for me. I just don't want another thing I have to charge every night.
So let's say you were in the market to buy one. Would you wait for the Moto 360 to come out and then maybe evaluate the space again?
I would definitely wait for the first round of Android Wear smartwatches. I'm an Android user. I use Google Now on my Moto X phone a lot, so I feel that the Android Wear devices will work really well with my Android phone, will probably bring information that I'm looking for to my wrist. I like the UI renders that I've seen, so I'm definitely going to hang out and wait for those.
Cool. In other news, there is a new development with a Microsoft employee, or a former Microsoft employee, I should say, who may have leaked some trade secrets to a French blogger. This is Alex Kibkalo, who worked for Microsoft for about 7 years. And from what I heard, it sounds like people are speculating he had a bad evaluation, got a little cranky, and released some code samples for Windows 8, including a piece of software that was needed to actually activate the code. This French blogger got his hands on it, activated it, got some screenshots. The screenshots went viral. This was like a year ago. Right?
Yeah.
This was kind of a while ago.
But these kinds of investigations take time. What Alex's big problem was, of course, was it sounds like he started bragging about leaking the code, and that may be what turns things from an internal investigation into literally a federal case. Like, they made a federal case of it. You know, you hear that phrase, and this is a time it actually happened.
And I heard they went through his Hotmail account and his instant message chats and saw that there was some evidence that was pretty clear that, yeah, he was bragging about it. Yes, he knew it was illegal when he did it. And that he was really goading the blogger to kind of get that information out there. I almost wondered, though, if it was actually a positive move for Microsoft, because Windows 8 wasn't really a huge hit when it first came out, and I wonder if releasing some of these images early actually contributed to some of the hype that was there.
I mean, that's the big mysterious question around a lot of these product leaks. It's something I've been thinking about a lot with the new HTC One, which is supposed to come out next week.
Yeah.
That product has been so leaked over the past couple of weeks, and yeah, it's getting rid of some of the surprise, though I'm sure they're going to have surprises, but it's also meant that product has been in the conversation nonstop.
Right.
And so you have to wonder about the corporate strategy here of, you know, absolutely no leaks versus do we keep ourselves in the conversation?
Yeah, it's definitely a hype driver. And I do wonder how much of it is kind of intentional, or maybe not intentional, but also not stopped too heavily.
Absolutely.
So let's take a look at one cool thing that's come into our lab. Sascha, you are wearing it right now. It's called Spree. And it's a product that we saw at CES, and it is for sports enthusiasts. So unlike a fitness tracker, which is something that you would wear all day long, this is a little bit closer to like a runner's watch. It sells for $299. It has this little tracker which you can charge. It looks like any other small tracker that might be a clip-on, but instead it fits inside this headband. So it takes your heart rate from your head, it takes your body temperature, and then it has all of the features you would expect in a runner's watch. So it has GPS to map your route. It can tell your speed and your distance and how many calories you burn and all this kind of stuff. It's a little bit more comfortable than wearing a chest strap, heart rate monitor chest strap. And it's supposed to sort of channel sweat away from your eyes as a headband would.
Now, I was a little surprised by the $300 price here, just because most of the products we review are like the Fitbit or the Nike Fuel Band or the Basis.
Those are in the $99 to $200
Right,
range.
so what is this really competing with?
Yeah.
What's its cohort?
Yeah, this is a little bit closer to those high-end runner's watches that you'll find from Garmin. The big thing that drives up the price is GPS tracking, obviously, but also speed. That's something that you don't get in a normal activity tracker. But this, like I said, is not really designed to be worn all day long. So it's really for people who are runners. If you do weightlifting, it's very good for that because you want all of those detailed statistics while you're actually making your heart rate go up and down.
Okay, and is the review up or is it going up soon?
I've just started testing it. It literally came to the lab yesterday. They are available for order. I don't think they're on store shelves yet, though.
Okay, great. I'll take this off, though. It is really comfortable. I haven't minded it at all.
It's not too bad. Yeah, it's kind of a soft, like silicone
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. How about our reader question?
Yeah, so we got an email not too long ago from our reader named Nelson, and he wanted to know about those suspicious emails that you sometimes get that look like they're from your friends, and clearly they're not from your friends.
Oh, I get those all the time. I've actually gotten one set of spam recently, which was kind of amazing. It went through a whole week, and the subject lines were always Beatles lyrics.
And you didn't open them, right?
God, no.
Of course. Well, of course, this problem happens, and Nelson wanted to know if there were any programs or apps that would monitor the internet traffic and log the sites that were accessing or having data sent to them, yada, yada, yada. We don't really need all those details because Nelson is actually kind of making it more complicated than it needed to be. This is the sort of problem that you can actually solve fairly easily with a little bit of security software. So any good security suite will probably do the trick, and a firewall will be just as good. And one that we've used before is Zone Alarm. So rather than worrying about all those things, if you just install basic security software, That's going to help you out big time.
Yep.
And of course, when you're in webmail especially, don't click on those links,
Yep.
especially if you know it didn't actually come from your friends.
Never the attachments. Don't click on the attachments.
So an ounce of common sense and a good security suite. We have reviews of a lot of those security suites on PCMag.com and hundreds of other products. You can check it out there. And that's it for our show today. We'll see you next time.